Let's go over to Becky Cele now, the Minister of Police in our Cape Town studios. I believe you can hear me. I'm delighted that that is the case. I was painting a pretty grim picture of South Africa, so you're probably happy not to have heard what I was saying. But I'm talking about the crime surge that we are in, how politicians are being targeted and criminals on the increase. So from a policing point of view, what's going wrong?
Well, I'm not sure what statistics that tell you that the crime is in the increase. Yes, we had a quite terrible stats previously last September. We haven't found the stats at the present moment. While the crime is there, to be witnessed by everybody, we believe that we'll be doing better when it comes to crime stats. That's not an issue. I agree with you, Jane. That is not the crime stats. Is how the people say, is how the people feel. Do they feel safe? That's what we're working towards. But to say now that the crime is increasing, I would not entirely agree with you on that one.
Okay, well then, if that is the case, what is working? Is this better policing, better funding, better training?
Well, better funding will be forever good. Better training, yes, improving, but also the quantity, the numbers of the South African police increase, which we believe that the budget will help us on that. We are quite under-resourced when it comes to human resource, Jane. The international figures, the United Nations, expect the ratio of policing in any given country to be 1:220. In South Africa, we are 1:383, even worse in other provinces, especially provinces like Northwest.
And let me ask you about the Western Cape. Excuse me jumping in here. I mean, they've got a real problem with working with you and the national government, they say. They're not getting the support and they're not getting the money owed to them. Why is that happening?
Well, I was expecting this question coming. That's not true. That's not true, Jane.
Are they lying?
There is this figure that is played around. I don't know. Yeah, they are. They are. Definitely they are. Especially when it comes to figures like 1:500. 1:412 in Western Cape, which is better than the North, which is better than Northwest. Not working together. I doubt that is true, that we're not working together with the province of Western Cape. I think the man that has just come is a problematic man. Why the previous plateau did not have problem, I sat down with him, we worked with him, we calculated together. It came from that working together with the Western Cape authorities then that we created more projects in this province, more than any other province. Operation Thunder here, that sent more police and more cars from outside the country. The creation of the anti-gang unit started in this province. We put more human beings, we put more resources. This thing of not working together is with the man rather than the province.
Now, in the Western Cape, I mean, many areas we're seeing a proliferation of gangs, and particularly from international countries. Are they seeing South Africa as a fertile ground for this? Because in their minds, there is not enough police presence.
Well, the gangsterism is an international phenomenon. Well, I hear people, indeed, there are gangs here, especially Western Cape. That's why we have created an anti-gang unit specializing in Western Cape. Hence, we have pushed down the violence of the gangsterism by 24%. But it's an international phenomenon. There are countries, I may not count them, that are much worse than South Africa, especially Central and South America. If you say the South African phenomenon is worse in South Africa, you go to these countries.
I was talking about the international gangs that are coming into South Africa. They're seeing it as fertile ground. I know we don't have much time, so I want to get through quite a few more questions. I want to talk to you about political killings, mainly in KwaZulu-Natal. I mean, how is that going to be stopped, and how politicized is the investigations into them, because not many perpetrators make it into jail?
Well, I don't know what you mean by not too many of them making to jail. President sent us there the interministerial committee on cluster, the justice cluster. And we created a team there in that province that started working July 15 last year, is finishing 7 months this year. That team, Jane, has arrested in 7 months 163 people.
And how many of them are going to stay in jail and how many of them are going to go to court?
27 of them have been sentenced, Jane. 5 of them to life sentence. The rest, 22, between 6 months and 50 years. So that happened within the period of 7 months. 66 of them are in prison. They're not getting the bail. 34 of them are out on bail. So
well,
it's
that's
7 months,
and
that kind of job that has happened.
6 months or so. I mean, you know this area very well because you've worked there, and how the violence against the IFP and ANC has really morphed into violence between and within the ANC. How do we break that? Yes, it was inter-party. It has become intra-party. It's not only the ANC. The people that we have arrested are also IFP people killing IFP people, are also ANC killing ANC people. Last week, the very last weekend, we buried 2 activists, the Ngata councillor, we haven't found what happened, and the ANC activists. But it's happening on both sides. Indeed, I would concede that it's happening on a bigger scale when it comes to the ANC. All right, elections Wednesday, as we all know. I should imagine that you're feeling the pressure like everybody else. Tell us how security ready you are and how safe we will be.
Well, we have done everything. We are continuing to do everything, as we have given the report that we are fine, we are ready. We have given 2 prominent provinces that we are looking at them with a closer eye. That is your same KZN and your Northwest. Today we have, working with the Minister of Defence, they've allowed to roll tomorrow morning the SNDF members on the strategic areas, both those provinces, but otherwise all other provinces, they are standby until they are called. The figures of the police that we have sent were fine with them, 51,000. And the opening of the station, 22,900 of them in different provinces. And the police will be there at all stations. The low-risk station will be 2, the medium 4, the high-risk 6. But we have a pool to call everybody and improve the numbers if and when become necessary.
All right, Minister Bheki Cele, thank you very much. Good to talk to you. Good luck for the elections.